Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually finished something you started? Not just showed up and went through the motions, not just did the bare minimum to check the box. I mean really finished it, gave it everything you had, and walked away knowing you crushed it. If you're struggling to remember, you're not alone. And here's the kicker. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you lack discipline or willpower or whatever self-help garbage people are selling you this week. You're stuck in what I call the good enough trap, and it's quietly destroying your potential. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how this trap works, why it feels so comfortable, and more importantly, how to break free starting tomorrow morning with a routine so simple you'll think I'm insulting your intelligence. But stick with me, because this 15-minute morning framework has helped thousands of people go from going through the motions to actually thriving. No motivation speeches, no rise and grind nonsense, just a straightforward system that works. The problem: understanding the trap. Here's what the good enough trap looks like in real life. You wake up without a plan. Maybe you scroll your phone for 20 minutes. You rush through getting ready, grab whatever breakfast is convenient, and head into your day already behind. You show up to work, to the gym, to your relationships, and you do enough. You hit the minimum requirements. You don't fail, but you don't excel either. And here's the insidious part. It feels responsible. It feels mature. You tell yourself you're being realistic or balanced. You're not one of those crazy people who burns themselves out chasing perfection, right? Wrong. What you're actually doing is training yourself to accept mediocrity as your baseline. And your brain loves it because mediocrity is comfortable. It doesn't require risk. It doesn't require vulnerability. You can't fail if you never really try. But here's what nobody tells you about playing it safe. The comfort of good enough has an expiration date. Eventually, you wake up and realize you've spent years, maybe decades, operating at 60% capacity. You've optimized your entire life around avoiding discomfort. And in the process, you've also avoided growth, achievement, and that deep satisfaction that comes from knowing you gave something your all. The good enough trap isn't about one decision. It's about the thousands of micro decisions you make every single day that compound into a life you didn't really choose. You just defaulted into it. And it starts the moment you open your eyes. Your morning isn't just about breakfast and brushing your teeth. It's the first battleground of your day. It's where you either take control or let the day control you. It's where you either set an intentional tone or let chaos set the agenda. Most people lose this battle before they even get out of bed. The psychology, why we stay stuck. Let's talk about why good enough feels so damn tempting. Your brain has one primary job: keep you alive with minimal energy expenditure. From an evolutionary perspective, your brain is designed to be efficient, not ambitious. It wants to conserve resources, avoid threats, and maintain the status quo. When you operate at good enough, you're triggering something called satisficing, a term psychologists use to describe the behavior of seeking an adequate solution rather than the optimal one. And in many situations, satisficing makes perfect sense. You don't need to find the absolute best parking spot. You just need one that works. But here's the problem. Most people are satisficing in areas where excellence actually matters: their health, their relationships, their careers, their personal growth. You're using a survival strategy in situations that require a thriving strategy. And the longer you stay in this pattern, the more your identity reinforces it. You start telling yourself stories. I'm just not a morning person. I'm not naturally disciplined. I'm being realistic about my limitations. These stories become self-fulfilling prophecies. You're not lacking potential. You're lacking a system that challenges your good enough default. Here's the truth that most productivity gurus won't tell you. Motivation is worthless. Passion is overrated. What you need is a framework that makes excellence easier than mediocrity. And that framework starts with how you begin your day. The solution, the 15-minute morning framework. I'm going to give you 4 elements that take 15 minutes total. No complicated rituals, no 5 a.m. wake-up requirements, no ice baths or journaling prompts that would make a therapist cringe. Just 4 simple actions that signal to your brain, today we're not settling for good enough. Element 1, the clarity minute. Before you touch your phone, before you check email, before you do anything else, you're going to sit on the edge of your bed and answer one question. What would make today feel like a win? Not what's on your to-do list, not what obligations you have. What would make you feel accomplished and satisfied when you go to bed tonight? Write it down. One sentence, one clear outcome. This isn't about productivity, it's about intention. When you start your day with clarity, you stop reacting and start creating. You're no longer a passenger in your own life. Here's why this works. Your brain needs a target. Without one, it defaults to responding to whatever feels urgent or easy. But when you consciously define what matters today, you create a filter for every decision that follows. The clarity minute gives your day direction, and direction is the antidote to good enough. Element 2, the activation sequence. Now you're going to move your body in a way that wakes up your nervous system. I don't care if it's push-ups, jumping jacks, yoga, dancing to 90s hip-hop, or walking around your block. The specific activity doesn't matter. What matters is that you're creating physical momentum. Here's what's happening. When you move your body intentionally within the first 30 minutes of waking, you're releasing dopamine, norepinephrine, and cortisol in the optimal ratios. You're literally jump-starting your brain's reward system and your ability to focus. You're also breaking the pattern of lethargy. Most people wake up sluggish because they train their bodies to be sluggish. They hit snooze, they scroll, they shuffle to the coffee maker like zombies. 5 minutes of movement tells your body, we're awake, we're engaged, we're ready. And here's the secret. It doesn't have to be intense, it just has to be deliberate. You're not training for a marathon, you're building a pattern of intentional action. The activation sequence transforms you from someone who reacts to the day to someone who attacks it. Element 3, the fuel protocol. You're going to eat something with protein within 60 minutes of waking. I know, this sounds stupidly simple, but most people either skip breakfast entirely or grab some carb-heavy garbage that spikes their blood sugar and crashes them by 10 a.m. Protein in the morning stabilizes your blood sugar, increases satiety, and most importantly, supports dopamine production. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter responsible for motivation, focus, and the ability to delay gratification. You know what kills dopamine? Sugar crashes and energy dips that make good enough feel like the only option you have the energy for. I'm not telling you to meal prep or follow some complicated diet. I'm telling you to eat eggs, Greek yogurt, a protein shake, leftovers from dinner, whatever gets 20 to 30 grams of protein into your body. This isn't about nutrition perfectionism. It's about giving your brain the raw materials it needs to perform at a high level. The fuel protocol ensures you have the physical energy to back up your intentions. Element 4, the signal moment. This is the most important element, and it's the one most people skip. Before you dive into your day, you're going to do one thing that signals to yourself, I'm not settling today. This could be making your bed. It could be setting out your workout clothes for later. It could be sending one message to someone you care about. It could be reviewing your calendar and blocking off 30 minutes for your most important task. The specific action doesn't matter. What matters is that it's a deliberate choice that separates you from your old patterns. Psychologists call this identity-based behavior. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. The signal moment is you casting a vote for someone who doesn't accept good enough. It's a promise to yourself, today I'm showing up fully. Why this works. the compound effect. Here's what happens when you follow this 15-minute framework consistently. You're not just starting your day better, you're rewiring your relationship with effort and excellence. The Clarity Minute trains you to be intentional instead of reactive. The activation sequence builds physical confidence and energy. The Fuel protocol stabilizes your brain chemistry. The Signal moment reinforces your identity as someone who takes action. After 30 days of this, you won't recognize yourself. Not because you've made some massive transformation, but because you've trained yourself to show up at 100% instead of 60%. That extra 40% compounds. It shows up in your work quality, your relationships, your health, your confidence. You'll notice something else, too. The rest of your decisions get easier. When you start your day with intention, you create momentum. That momentum makes it easier to choose the salad over the burger at lunch, to have the difficult conversation instead of avoiding it, to put in the extra hour on your project instead of watching Netflix. Excellence becomes your new baseline, and good enough starts to feel uncomfortable, like you're settling for less than you're capable of. This isn't about perfection. Some mornings will be messy, some days you'll only hit 3 of the 4 elements. That's fine. What matters is the pattern. What matters is that you're consistently choosing intention over default. The challenge, your next step. All right, here's your challenge, and I want you to do this immediately after watching this video. Set an alarm for tomorrow morning 15 minutes earlier than you usually wake up. That's it. That's step 1. Then, tonight before bed, write down your answer to the Clarity Minute question. What would make tomorrow feel like a win? Tomorrow morning, follow the framework. All 4 elements. 15 minutes. Don't negotiate with yourself. Don't make it complicated. Just do it. And here's the real challenge. Do it for 7 days straight. Not because 7 days will transform your life, but because 7 days will prove to yourself that you can break free from the good enough trap. You can show up differently. You can be intentional instead of reactive. After 7 days, come back and let me know in the comments what shifted for you. What felt different? What surprised you? Because here's what I know. Most of you watching this are capable of so much more than you're currently producing. You don't need another motivation video. You don't need someone to pump you up. You need a system. You need a framework. You need proof that you can operate at a higher level. This 15-minute morning routine is that proof. The good enough trap is comfortable. It's safe. It's socially acceptable. It's also slowly killing your potential. You don't need to blow up your entire life to break free. You just need to win the first 15 minutes of your day. Win that, and everything else gets easier. So set that alarm, write down your win, and tomorrow morning, show yourself who you're actually capable of being. Not someday, tomorrow. Now stop watching videos and go set that alarm.